Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new Let's Play series in the HOI4 Kaiserredux. Today we're going to be playing against the Black Belt Republic. And you might be thinking, you're playing against the College of the American Republic. Yes, we are, but we're going to need to form the Black Belt Republic out of this. So basically, they are going to uprise at some point, in which we need to basically give the Ku Klux Klan as much power as we possibly can for them to actually uprise. So we'll kind of show through all the events as we go on here. But we kind of start off in an interesting position. One, we're starting off before the war actually begins. We skipped over all the beginning parts because we've seen that before. We don't need to see it again. Sign our leaders. What are we missing? We're missing, because we only have 3 military factories, which I would say is pretty much horrible. But we're starting in an interesting position, and I say that because we need to make sure crime has grown. The feds hit harder, minimum attack. Mob activity, anarchist violence spreads, you know, basically all the typical debuffs that you would get for being an American Civil War faction. We don't need to read those. I think we've read most of those when we played as a CSA last time around. But yeah, eventually we're going to need to get this going. We need to get the national populace in charge. We need William Joseph Smith to become in power. And then we need to make our way all the way down here and just make Jim Crow about 1,000 times worse than it already is. Lower resistance levels. Let's get a little bit more stability for now. The Chief of Staff, Treaty with the United States. Despite our dislike of the anti-ODP and anti-NWA MacArthur's regime, we are clearly at a disadvantage now that the CSA and the American Union State have signed a peace treaty. Due to this, Theodore Bilbo has drawn up the 200-day plan, which will grant us 200 days of non-aggression impact the United States before we supposedly negotiate a different deal where they peacefully recognize our superiority. Why not? Let's send them there. Chief of Staff. With the Civil War looming, an emergency meeting of the leaders of the ODP and the NWL in Atlanta found President Murray having to choose between 3 quarreling candidates for the position of Chief of Staff. George von Horn Mosley is by far the most experienced of the 3 and is favored by the Fordist and respectable number of the more mainstream ODP members. However, most of the ODP and NWL fear the giving forward too much influence, and having put forth New Jersey Klan Grand Dragon Arthur Hornwell Bell as their choice Chief of Staff, the Old Klan and Black Legion factions in the White League, however, have their doubts about Bell's ideological commitment and aggressively argued that their own Virgil Burt Effinger is best suited for the job. Well, we're going to put in the Grand Clan Dragon. Really got like the dumbest names. Put him in charge. I'm sure nothing bad could happen there. But we have a peace treaty with the United States. If this actually succeeds, that'll be the United States has declined. Demand that we rejoin them at once. Again, like, I was saying, like, the fact that we're eventually going to fight the Constitution of the American Republic. So, like, we want to, like, not completely die. Because I think we die too early, then essentially we will not be able to do what we want. But if we do too well, we could actually end up, like, making our lives harder in the future. I don't really know how this is actually going to play out, but we'll see. Chief of Army. With the Civil War looming, the fact that we don't have a Chief of Army has prompted concern among various political and military leaders. Okay, well, let's go with George Patton. We have a few more militia. Send them up to the American front. I guess the federal government front. Get some troops from South Georgia. We're going to raise them up basically in the south. Again, I have, I did check to make sure that we're going to do the right things in order to actually get the Black Belt Republic to rise up. So we should be doing relatively okay. Chief of Air Force. I don't think any of these really matter. Why would you put Paradrop attack? I can't imagine Paratroopers are going to be super useful in this fight. But, you know, let's go with you. Southern governors meet in Atlanta. A large crowd recently gathered outside the State House in Atlanta to congratulate William H. Murray for defying the federal government. When the governors arrived, the press only saw images of a defiant American, determined to fight the illegitimate powers of federal corruption and syndicalist oppression. However, not all Southern governors were in attendance. Governor James V. Eldred of Texas sided with Huey Long, and Governor Bill Graves refused to side with the Constitutionalists, something that had him driven out of his home state by Klan-aligned militias. The loyal governors are now meeting with William H. Murray inside the State House to determine the proper response to the federal government's deadline. Well, I can tell you right now, we're eventually going to be at war with every one of our neighbors. Because, again, it's strange. Because we want to kind of be losing. But at the same time, we don't want to lose too hard. We got these guys set up in position. But I also don't want to put myself necessarily just making my life easier. If that makes any sense? I don't want to give myself an easy win when the revolt actually rises up. The Second Declaration of Independence. William H. Murray, along with many of his allies and clan-aligned militias, declared that America was a dead nation. Along his speech, he blamed many things for America's downfall, such as the establishment selling out to Republican industrialists, Catholic votes, Jewish money, and Washington bureaucrats. And MacArthur's blatant disrespect for American traditions was a nail in the coffin. As the speech ended, he declared the need for the resist traitors and declared the Constitution of the American Republic would return America to the greatness of the Jacksonian era. I mean, we'll see how it goes. And I'm not too sure when exactly this will fire. Again, I did do a test run, but I was not reading any of the events. I was just kind of clicking very quickly. We got 2 of you. We'll send you over to the American Union State Front. Do we have any aircraft? We do. Okay, we'll send you down here. You guys will do this. You guys fly in Appalachia, do all your basic stuff. And do we have any more aircraft aside from that? We do. We have an extra 100 fighters, extra 100 bombers. Okay, we'll set the limit to there. Do you have any more tactical bombers? We don't. But the Civil War has now begun. Decisions available. We want to keep on raising troops, I think, here as well in North Florida. Recruit 1 troop from there. Why do you not have any objectives? Oh, there you go. Okay, the Second American War has started. The Hollywood 10. Hollywood has long been suspected of housing some syndicalist supporters who seek to use modern media to sneak their insidious messages. This has all been being confirmed now to the Hollywood screenwriters and directors affiliated with the IWW and its allies have public release papers such as Variety, leading to legal investigation. Now, 10 of those being investigated have been found in contempt for refusing to answer questions from congressional senators, whom are already being nicknamed the Hollywood 10. Constitutional American Republic Congress convenes. Through the grapevine, dozen congressmen have heard William H. Murray assemble in Atlanta. Some came to wish William H. Murray well and stayed, others simply to court favor with the revolution. These meetings in Atlanta began to take on a congressional appearance, with Talmadge standing at the president of the attending senators, aware of the growing determination of the federal government, and to defy the federal government, and that is lack of willingness to negotiate meant civil war was all but certain. A large number of politicians have slinked away to the north, though those that remain seem more determined than ever to see victory. Okay, we have a bunch more military factories, so we'll go with you. It's like double production on this. Let's get some basic upgrades on, let's say, 3 on artillery seems okay. And why not even start producing some light tanks? Seems like an okay way for us to start our war. So we're at war basically with everybody around. Coup d'etat in Algiers. We don't care about that too much. We don't really want these lines overlapping at the moment. Our navy right now is fighting the Syndicalists in the north. Yeah, because you're all at war with everybody. I mean, like, apparently the CSA and the American Union State are not at war. So we'll kind of see how that plays out into our future. Is there anywhere we can actually invade right away? Ukraine, Argentina, and South Africa all want to send me some units. Thank you very much. The thing is, like, we don't actually have that many men. We're definitely overextended at the moment. Can I train more units? Appalachia, we don't have air superiority in anymore. The Deep South we do, and now the American Union State is starting to push their way down. You're going down this province. Let's shrink this line by 1. I think we're still missing, I think, like 1 area, but I mean, it's not as bad as it otherwise could be. 2 more days until you guys rise up. Then we also want to get some units here as well in Alabama. Recruit you. We'll send you over to the Syndicalist front. The Hollywood Blacklist. There is a large-scale blowback to supposed left influence in Hollywood. Many executives viewing it as a confirmation that striking otherwise unruly workers are Syndicalist agitators. As such, the motion picture lines for defending American ideals have been founded to win as a wing. I think there's just a lot of typos in these. Of the MPA with the goal of investigating radical influences in Hollywood. Those uncovered for their sympathies now include megastar Charlie Chaplin, have been placed on a blacklist that virtually excludes them from work. Of course, some view this as a betrayal of our ideals, recalling us not to give the congressional support. We shall remain silent. There's no real reason not to. I think those are supposed to be events that are firing for the United States. Because we did fire off the Civil War a little bit early. Because right now it is, you know, it's not even 1937 yet. When usually the Civil War happens in about March. Let's expand. No. Let's us. I mean, is there anything else we can do? American Navy basically is a garbage. Let's go for the National Army. Then that kind of makes sense in times of war. Let's form more troops against you. Let's push against the longest front because they do seem to be the ones trying to cause us the most amount of pain, unfortunately. Thing is, we just don't have that many men. Right now, we're at 42. I think every one of our neighbors has more units than we do. Which is definitely a bit unfortunate. We'll be ready in 6 more days. Our volunteers are arriving from Argentina, Ukraine, and South Africa. Yeah, attack the Minutemen, which I think is the American Union state. Their militias there. I mean, we're probably going to lose some territory, but again, it's not a huge deal. It's not the worst thing in the world. Can you be ready in 8 more days? Formation of the American Air Force. I mean, who do we want? Superior firepower, mobile warfare, the Draper plan for mass assault. The White Defense League requests Army promotions. Leader of the National Democrat White League have requested greater presence in the military to reflect their importance. While inexperienced, they will attempt to rile more members to join the military and donate funds and arms to the cause. Despite their own views, even the old Democrats find this a tricky decision to make as some feel they are too ambitious for their own good. Of course, we'll let them in. We kind of need to give as much power to the Klan as possible, which is not like a great thing to say. Let's send you to the American Union State Front for now. Because they're the ones really trying to cause us some damage at the moment. Let's keep on going for more infantry equipment. We're going to need a lot of infantry equipment, I feel like, by the end of this. I think these 5 ships are all the ships we have. Because we did lose a lot of our navy up towards the north, unfortunately. Apparently, New England is now led by H.P. Lovecraft. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Are they in the Entente? They are. Anybody else doing anything too surprising? I don't really believe so. I mean, Mongolia is still led by Roman von Sternberg. We'll see how they go. American New State and CSA has now declared war on each other. Their short-lived peace did not last for too long. Okay, next, it looks like the entirety of the Federal Front and the Syndicalist Front are now at least defended. Okay, we're going to send you over to Blue Army. You have 5 divisions towards Atlanta. We can definitely make some progress here. Thank you very much. I mean, American Union States. Pacific States already lost some territory. Western Command Center in the United States lost some land. I mean, we've killed 16,000. We've only lost 3,000 in return. Which is not horrible. They even take Bhutan Rouge. Anybody else feel like they can maybe get some attacks in? Well, you can definitely go here. Remember, we do have your superiority in the south. NDWL expansion. Since our motion, the NDWL is gaining increasing numbers among soldiers and new recruits, giving them widespread influence over the military. Increasingly, they are using this to pressure old Democratic Party members in the Senate to sign up for the NDWL and are pushing out the Fordist allies from their influence by handing out military contracts to NDWL supporting businesses and states. Well, shockingly, even captains of the National Guard are switching their allegiance despite technically answering to the old Democratic Party governors. It is clear that William Joseph Simmons is gathering support to become leader of the Republic, but to demote them would damage the war effort at this point. Of course, expanding their influence would anger the black population we are attempting to keep a lid on at the moment. Well, not much we can do. To give them all the power. I'm sure nothing bad will happen there. Why are you researching Navy stuff? I'm assuming this was done by the AI. You're already researching... Why? Who let the AI research this stuff? I think for like the brief moment that it's controlled by the AI before the player gets controlled, the AI does whatever it wants. And clearly this is not the best for them. Okay, we've cleared out Bhutan Rouge. Alaska's left the Union. Okay, Alaska, the last frontier. What can they actually do? And they can go Democratic, they can go right-wing, or they can go left-wing, you know, understandably. Why would you, like, why Alaska? What a weird... Okay, let's break our troops like this. We're taking Bhutan Rouge, getting American Union State down a little bit. Pacific States... Who are you? Oh, MacArthur actually just controls San Francisco. Okay. I don't know why, but good for them, I think. Why not train 6 divisions up in Kentucky? It really does seem like the American Union State is our biggest opponent at the moment. Everywhere else, we're at least defending. Black Resistance organized. Black Resistance cells have put aside their common ideological differences relating to either their economic or race nationalism versus civic nationalism and have come to simply agree that our government must be opposed. Organized in increasingly efficient cells, they are more comfortable attacking their military police and militia supporters near their territory. Retaliations have only driven more black Americans to their arms. Yeah, National Army's finished. I guess we're researching... Well, the AI is doing superior firepower, so we might as well go down that path as well. Okay, we got Charleston up here. We're not going to counter the black movement for the obvious reason that we're going to try to play as them in the future. We might even lose the Bhutan Rouge here. But that's okay. Simons calls for a convention. William Joseph Smith and the NDWL have called for a special convention to allow himself to be appointed head of military operation and de facto commander-in-chief of the nation. He has acknowledged the ODP as allies and says the current president will be rewarded for his loyalty via political and military appointments, but states the NDWL is still in the future of America, and empowerment is necessary to save America from left radicals, liberals, and their duped supporters. They're duped black supporters. With the backing of Herman Wesley Evans' clan, D.C. Stevenson's various white leagues and terrorist groups, Armstrong's and Christian identitarians endorsed, and even many ODP members no longer resisting, it's clear that he will be appointed commander-in-chief. While the constitutional American Republic does not exactly allow for this, as the head of the nation is currently empowered with virtually unlimited autocratic power, the ODP does not have the stability needed to hold its ground and oppose the clan political machine that would be the end of the Republic. Okay, well, we're having a convention now. How are you guys doing? I mean, you're doing well enough. Again, as long as we're kind of delaying movements here, I think that's good enough. You hold position. We're going to come up here for reinforcing. Have one of you stay back to defend. Oh, why are you on training mode? No. Do not be on training mode. I think that's my own fault. Okay, well, we defended Bhutan Rouge. New Orleans is actually almost isolated from the rest of the American Union States. One of our generals is now wounded. I mean, he's still, like, okay, I think. Why not camouflage expert? Can we upgrade you in any way? No, you're a thorough planner and you're a logistics wizard. Which I guess is good. Is there anything you guys can do? You can maybe fight here. That's really about it. Why don't you try to, like, push away to New Orleans? It looks like you guys have backing from the Germans, Russians, and the Brazilians. Who else is getting support? We're getting support from Austria, Illyria, and Japan. You were getting backing from nobody. The American Union, or the United States, getting backing from nobody. And New England, of course, is in the Entente at the moment. Okay, hold position. Bhutan Rouge should at least hold out for a while. We can put 2 more units into MacArthur, or into that front. Send you guys up towards the north. 24, 23, and 10. Not horrible. Simmons has been elected. William Joseph Simmons has been elected head of the Constitution of the American Republic via delegate system. Although the current president still enjoys symbolic status as founder of the nation, it's clear he and the NDWL is running the show now. Well, we are now led by William Joseph Simmons. We'll cancel this because we do need to get done this focus tree, which is the Invisible Empire. This is what we need to kind of focus on right now. Finland and Sweden are at war. That's cool. Not that I think we care about it too much. Please let me scroll over to this side. Absorb the Whitecaps or revise nativism. More war support, run 7% stability, but I'm sure that's going to be okay. So how are you guys holding out? I mean, you are holding out, which is basically the most we could ask of you. The Banner of the Republic. Now that we are independent, we must choose the banner that we fly against traitors. Some of our members identify the current flag and wish to keep it. Simmons and the NDWL largely wish to see the red flag, however, and be more representative of the clan symbolism. You know what? Adopt the red design. Sure, why not? We're now be known as the Second American Republic. Sure, nothing bad could happen here. There we go. We're now the Second American Republic. It's a very cursed nation at the moment, but we should hopefully we'll fix that soon. Hopefully, see the International is helping out you guys in the north at the moment. Let's train up some troops in Tennessee. We can maybe put some more units into the Orange Army, or even start like another new army, maybe to try to focus down New Orleans. Not impossible for sure. Passive sonar. You guys are moving here. How about you go? Yeah, go there for now. I mean, Baton Rouge is doing okay, all things considered. Don't research more naval stuff. Even though it would help me out against the AI, it doesn't make a lot of sense at the moment. But for right now, I think it's going to be a good time for us to end this episode. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Anthem. If you've enjoyed, my thumbs up. Not enjoyed, click thumbs down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.